Our next item for consideration is H.R. 2766, the Special District Fairness and Accessibility Act. The clerk will please designate the bill.
H.R. 2766, the Special District Fairness and Accessibility Act, a bill to require the Director of the Office of Management and Budget to issue guidance to agencies requiring special districts to be recognized as local government for the purposes of federal financial assistance determinations.
Without objection, the bill should be considered as read and open for amendment at any point. Without objection, so ordered. The chair recognizes himself to offer an amendment in the nature of substitute. The clerk please designate the amendment.
An amendment in the nature of a substitute to H.R. 2766 is offered by Mr. Comer of Kentucky.
Without objection, the amendment is considered as read and the substitute will be considered as original text for the purposes of further amendment. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes for a statement on the bill and the amendment. Today, we have an opportunity to address an issue affecting Americans across the country. Many Americans receive essential services through special districts, which are units of local government authorized under state law to deliver specific services to communities. There are approximately 35,000 special districts across the country in every state. Some examples of special districts include ambulance service districts, drainage districts, emergency service boards, and flood control districts. These special districts provide critical services to mostly rural communities across the nation. OMB already recognizes special districts as units of local government, similar to townships or villages. Yet special districts often struggle to compete for or have access to federal funding. The Special District Fairness and Accessibility Act works to solve this problem by ensuring that special districts are on equal footing with other units of local government. The bill requires the Office of Management and Budget to issue guidance to federal agencies emphasizing how special districts should be recognized as a unit of local government. This legislation is supported by the National Special Districts Coalition. I want to thank Representative Pat Fallon from Texas for his work in developing this important bipartisan bill, and I urge my colleagues to support. I now recognize the ranking member for his opening statement.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I know we have a bunch of bipartisan bills today, so I want to thank you for your work and collaboration. I support, of course, this bipartisan bill. As a former mayor, I know how important it is for local governments to have access to federal funding. And a critical part of local government is special districts. We had a bunch in the community I represented and across the state of California. Now, there are roughly 35,000 special districts across the U.S. They help deliver wastewater treatment, fire protection, and many other critical services to millions of Americans, including the MWD district of Southern California, of which is critically important for my community. Now, unfortunately, special districts sometimes face challenges when trying to access and compete for federal funding due to certain technical and process problems. This bill would make it easier for special districts to access federal funds, and for that, we support this bill, and I yield back.
The ranking member yields back. We're going to pause for a moment. Representative Fallon is en route. They said he's running. And for those of you who don't know, Pat Fallon played football for Lou Holtz at Notre Dame. So I assume he's in excellent physical condition still. So we're going to yield now, once he catches his breath, to the sponsor of the bill, the gentleman from Texas.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. And as a point of personal privilege, we buried Coach Holtz Monday. And we want to take just 10 seconds to share with everyone. You want to talk about somebody that loved this country, loved this republic, born in humble beginnings, taught all 1,500 of his players what love is. And love is doing your best and uplifting everyone around you, because there's a distinct difference between being ambitious and striving for excellence. When you strive for excellence, you bring everybody up. And he did that, and you could see it in how many players were at that funeral yesterday. Hundreds of us. And even due to all the weather and flight cancellations and go-arounds, and it was a beautiful thing, and a tribute to Coach Holtz. And he's a dynamic force that will be sincerely missed, and I know for a fact I wouldn't be here representing nearly 800,000 Americans had I not crossed his path. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I begin, I'd like to enter 2 documents into the record. First, a letter of support for the National Special Districts Association.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And second is a letter of support from the North Texas Municipal Water District.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Chairman. Special districts are a unit of local government that deliver specialized services to a specific community. There are many in the state of Texas and really all over the country. For example, a special district in Texas, for instance, includes water control and improvement districts, hospital districts, crime control and prevention districts, and sports and community venue districts. There are 35,000 of these nationwide, including, as I mentioned, 3,300 in the state of Texas. California has approximately 3,000, Colorado about 3,200, Illinois about the same at 3,200. Every state in our union has special districts and numerous communities that greatly rely on them. They're beneficial to all Americans. In particularly rural parts of the country, special purpose districts can provide emergency response and utility services. In urban areas, special districts can provide vital infrastructure or educational services. These districts are giving significant powers, including the power to acquire, purchase, sell, or lease real or personal property, sue and be sued, impose and collect taxes, issue bonds, borrow money, and contract with other entities. However, they struggle to access federal funding, and this bill changes that. H.R. 2766 would establish the first ever formal federally recognized definition for special districts. Additionally, it directs the Office of Management and Budget to issue guidance to federal agencies requiring special districts to be recognized as local government, which they are, and which would clarify how special districts are eligible to receive federal assistance. This doesn't guarantee they're going to get it. It puts them on equal footing as a county, a school district, a city, et cetera. And to be clear, this bill doesn't increase government spending, nor does it create additional federal funding programs. It simply allows these vital types of local governments to have a chance to receive funding with already existing federal programs. It merely lets them compete for them that other local governments have access to, and it gives them the proverbial seat at the table. I encourage my colleagues to support this common sense bipartisan legislation that benefits special districts and, by extension, all Americans. And I think, Mr. Chairman, if we pass this, you will all feel better about yourselves. Thank you very much, and I yield.
Gentleman yields back. Ms. Randall.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. What many of our neighbors already know is that a lot of the government services that we rely on every day are provided by what are known as special districts. As my colleagues have mentioned, they provide water and broadband, internet, fire and EMS services, electricity, libraries, hospitals, conservation programs like rain barrels and rain garden planning to conserve water, and countless other services, and are especially important in rural communities like the one I represent. For example, I represent 6 public utility districts, all of whom are very eager to see this policy pass. Our PUDs make sure families and businesses can literally keep the lights on. They make sure rural areas of the Olympic Peninsula have reliable broadband access so that folks can attend telehealth appointments and start their businesses. And they're taking steps to harden the infrastructure and make it more resilient in the face of worsening storms, flooding, wildfires, atmospheric rivers, like the one my district is experiencing as we speak. But while they tirelessly carry out this integral work, they're ineligible to apply for many federal programs because of the lack of definition for special districts in federal law. And by providing this definition, we can help these critical government programs operate. We can ensure that folks have access to, food, library resources like the bookmobiles in rural communities, that folks can have access to broadband that has the service that they rely on. We can make sure that folks are able to have electricity that is reliable as well, and that our firefighters are able to respond to house fires and so much more. So I'm a proud sponsor of the Special Districts Grant Accessibility Act, and will be happily voting for this bill in committee and on the House floor. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Any further requests to speak? Seeing none. The question is now on the amendment in the nature of a substitute. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. In the opinion share, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to. The question is now in favor of reporting H.R. 2766 is amended. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The opinion share, the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman.
What? Mr. Biggs.
Request a roll call vote.
A recorded vote is ordered. As previously announced, further proceedings on the question will be postponed.